Hello and welcome. My name is Allison. For this video today, I wanted to talk about unschooling and curriculums and how they relate and also very much do not relate to each other. So in case you don't know, unschooling is a philosophy of learning based around the idea that the learner can direct what, when, and how to learn. So at its core, fundamentally, unschooling kind of rejects any sort of agenda or curriculum when teaching. And even though unschooling is usually considered kind of a subcategory of homeschooling, it really kind of is its own thing altogether. Whereas homeschooling tends to be the idea of just taking education out of a traditional academic setting in a schoolhouse with a teacher and classmates and brings it to the home with family members doing the teaching. Largely, homeschooling is structured very similarly to other types of schooling in a classroom setting, whereas unschooling kind of rejects all structure. And in our society, the idea of homeschooling in an unschooling fashion can sound kind of radical. For decades now, our Western society has relied heavily on academic systems that are highly structured and have very particular sets of curriculum and criteria to meet at each grade level. And unschooling really has nothing to do with that. A practitioner of unschooling relies on a child's innate desire to know the things that they need to know. And anyone who's been around children for any amount of time knows that they are inherently curious and trying to discover new things practically every waking minute. So as an unschooling teacher, we rely heavily on the direction of children's curiosity to decide how and what we're going to learn. So my question for this video and what I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit is if and how a curriculum can be useful to an unschooler. So in my opinion, if you've decided to go with an unschooling structure, that kind of means you're a little more open-minded in general. But if you still kind of struggle on whether or not to utilize curriculum resources, here are a few ideas that I mulled over when I was trying to figure that out for myself. I think the number one question to ask yourself is how innately organized are you and how motivated are you from within? Meaning, do you respond better to your own forms of motivation that come from within yourself, or are you the type of person who responds better to outside motivations? If you're the type of person who can naturally get up and know what you need to do in the day, have that organized, that to-do list, and that doesn't overwhelm you, and you're able to get through those things on your own, really without any type of expectations from the outside, you probably have everything you need to do your own type of curriculum and just kind of follow a free form with that. If you are perhaps a little more like me, where organization and self-motivation don't come particularly naturally for me, you might consider utilizing some outside resources just to help keep yourself organized and give you subtle directions to follow on days that you feel a little scattered and like you're not sure what to do with your learning time for the day. Those are the reasons that I decided to purchase some curriculum materials, even though I'm not following a curriculum in the sense that it gives me lesson plans for each day and materials that I lay out as an agenda for the day. We're not at all following that kind of structure, but I did want to have curriculum resources to fall back on, just because I felt that having the entire weight of writing my own curriculum on me would be just too much for me, especially with this homeschooling journey being a new journey for our family. I wanted backup. So I'm going to quickly just show you what I chose for our curriculum. It's by no means, lesson plans, curriculum done by any specific kind of organization or anything like that. I kind of chose these curriculums eclectically based on what I know will motivate Ashton and what will help me as his learning partner. So the first thing is a set of workbooks, and we had used these previously just over a summer. The summer before kindergarten, I purchased a few of these workbooks just to kind of keep us doing interesting, mind-expanding things during the off season. And we really enjoyed using them then, and so I decided to get the first grade versions this time, and it is these Star Wars workbooks. They're created by the creators of Brain Quest, and yeah, they're great little resources. They're not too serious or anything like that, and the fact that they're Star Wars definitely motivates my little learner because he is very into that. And it starts at the beginning with simple activities that a kindergartner might be able to know by the end of the year, and then it moves through all the way up to preparing for second grade. So we got a first grade math one, we got the writing skills, and we got a reading one, just to sort of cover all the major academic basics there. One other workbook that I grabbed simply for the fact that when he was in the public school system, this was something that I felt actually was a good structure and helped him a lot with his reading skills, and that's the sight words. So I got a book that goes through the first grade sight words, and they're just little work pages that they go through, very simple, and yeah, just, simple words that a first grader should be able to just read on sight without having to really sound out or anything like that. So that's it for the workbooks that I chose. Nothing too serious, honestly, just more fun, motivational type things for days when we need direction. The other type of curriculum thing that I chose to utilize is subscriptions, online learning subscriptions. And so I'll show you the few that we decided to subscribe to because I felt like they would just be fun learning tools for us and still give us, like I keep repeating, direction on days that we need it. So the first online subscription that we decided to go with was Mystery Science, and that's here.
Mystery Science.
And basically what it is, it's little science lessons. They have full-on lessons where it gives you videos, worksheets, activities to go through, and they take a question. So, like for this one, camera, focus on that, not on my face. Why do leaves change color in the fall? And they explore why that is and have activities to kind of discover the answer to this curiosity question. And there's tons of different lessons, and they have everything you need. And then there's even little mini lessons, if you're just need something to do in your downtime. These have videos and activities, and yeah. So this has been a great resource for science in particular. The other subscription that we decided to go with is Mango Languages. Ashton is very interested in knowing Spanish, and so I don't speak Spanish at all, so I would not be able to teach him that. So clearly we needed an outside resource for that. And Mango Languages has a great program for learning languages. And so it has an app. You can do it on the computer or on a phone or iPad, which I think is great. They have an app. And here you can see we've got our Spanish lessons. You just click on that, and then it has, you know, little modules, learning modules that you work through, and it teaches basic Spanish. So this has been a fun one that we're kind of doing together. We just barely got started with that, but yeah, we're excited to learn Spanish together by using this tool. The last online resource that I'm going to talk about in this video is education.com. It's just a great all-over resource. Whether you're using your curriculum or not, I would highly recommend education.com. They give you access to worksheets, you can do games, they even have pre-made organized lesson plans if that's the kind of thing you're interested in. And then they even have a way for you to create your own worksheets and things. So this has been really useful for me just to have activities for us to do during the day. This has been a fabulous thing to have access to. All right, so that pretty much wraps it up. Those are all of the things that I chose to purchase as far as any type of curriculum. And as you can see, it's a very eclectic variety and not really anything that has like set lesson plans to follow. It's just resources for us to reach for on a day-to-day basis, and we will reach for them as directed by Ashton's interests, still following that fundamental philosophy of child-directed learning. I hope this is helpful to you if you are in the position of, you know, mulling over unschooling philosophies and feeling like that is something you want to do, but maybe struggling with the organization aspect of it or lack thereof, like in my case. It's doable. You can still use a lot of these resources and honor that philosophy of child-directed learning. So if you found this useful at all, I would invite you to share and join us as a subscriber of our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye.